Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Roadblock, and we are actually on my main account right now. So this is going to be a shard pull video. So I've been kind of back and forth on Ankora across my multiple accounts, but um, I I do think I'm going to go for her on my main account. I don't really need her. However, there's something in her kit that I really like. Um, I really like turn meter fill, but I don't necessarily like turn meter fill for the sake of turn meter fill, if that makes sense. What I like about Ankora's is that she has a cleanse that gives it a shield based on her max HP. This is very similar to, I've mentioned this in another video, very similar to Mithrala. But the difference is that she also fills the turn meter of all allies by 10%. This is I mean, it's not the most turn meter fill that I've ever seen, obviously, but I'm getting two benefits. I'm getting three benefits. I'm getting a shield, a cleanse. I'm getting a shield, which if you've done uh, Hydra, you know how important shields can be, and then I'm getting turn meter fill as well. Now that's something that Mithrala doesn't do. Now Mithrala brings more stuff, but I only have one Mithrala, and I will only ever have one Mithrala. So when I need a cleanser and a shielder in another for a different Hydra team, that's where I think White Queen could come in handy. On top of that, the cooldown reduction, I mean, this could be pretty good for me. Um, she'll be A1ing a lot, right? When at least twice when this is on a 3-turn cooldown. Those random cooldowns in Hydra are going to be really valuable. I mean, one of the main reasons I feel like people run Relentless gear, or at least that's what, my go-to, is the cooldown reduction. And so if you imagine some of the champions that I have on my roster that would be gaining the benefits of her cooldown reduction, right? So she's bringing a cleanse, bringing shields. Well, she's reducing the cooldown on HP burns. That makes Mordecai better. Mordecai, my biggest issue with Mordecai is that his HP burn is on a really high cooldown. And so I've been not running him as much. Another great benefit is on our taunt champions, right? So I have my taunters, my provokers. I got it. Are Angar, who just got buffed, Molly, and Nergigante Archer. So whichever team that White Queen ended up in, she would be refreshing my provokers, which could be very, very valuable. Likewise for my hexers and I mean any of my abilities, having those cooldowns coming up more, because especially when you're considering affinity issues, right? So my Ugo may have gotten a weak hit and not landed block buffs on one of my champions, but we get that cooldown reduction. Oh, look, she landed it the next time. Decreasing the cooldown of Shamil's A2. That's really big for me because one of my biggest problems, at least with the way I run my teams, which is not perfect, I will admit, but one of the biggest problems I have with my team is when, like, my Acrizia or my Newt, these are different teams. Acrizia and Newt are never on the same team, but they're usually with one of my two Shamils that I have built. So when they get eaten, Shamil is the only one that can break them out. If this is on cooldown, his A1 ain't breaking them out, right? And if I only have 2 turns to do it, White Queen can help in that regard by reducing the cooldown of this potentially. It's random, but there's that potential. Likewise, the shield and such. So I don't know. It's a champion that I don't want to regret not getting. And there's another reason I want to do this. So we talked about how I regretted pulling my sacreds on the last 2 times chance. Right? I would rather pull my sacreds for double legendary events. Likewise, I would rather pull all of my shards for double legendary events. The problem is, if you're only pulling for double legendary events, you're never building your mercy. So how do I build my mercy? Well, why don't I build my mercy during summon rushes? That makes sense. Not every summon rush, but the summon rushes for a good fusion like this one. I'm down with that. So I'm going to pull my shards here. I'm going to pull my 2 sacreds first, and then we'll figure out how many more. Well, I'm going to pull 2 sacreds. I'm going to pull 9 voids and 3 ancients just to get these to round numbers. And then we'll see how many I need left, and I'll kind of figure out the math on it. So first things first, let's pull these 2 sacreds. Now, I mean, Archbishop is the only one of these I don't have. Well, I guess I don't have this guy, but I don't really care about him. And I don't care about the rare either. So we'll go with Archbishop. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to try and get a second of copy of Nergigante, because that would be very, very good for me. Although it would make me a little upset because of everything I went through to get the first copy. But, you know, if I was to get a second copy, I can't complain. What's that, Grimskin? Yeah. I want to make sure we're tracking my mercy here. Yeah, okay. Basilisk actually has some uses to my understanding. I think it's the passive. Revives with 30% HP when killed and places block damage for 1 turn. 6 turn cooldown, but I think if you build them fast enough, they'll be able to get that up, and they can be immortal against Sand Devil, I think, in City of Centranos, I believe. I'm not 100% about that, so let's don't quote me there. I guess Supreme Kale. I kind of like Ayla. Alright, we're gonna pull 9 here. Ew, gross. Kurzat's pretty good. Especially if you're struggling with Iron Twins, you don't have the Geomancer yet. Kurzad can put in a little bit of work there. I do like Knot as well. I mean, these aren't champions I'm going to use on this account. I'm just letting you guys know. But I'm more or less just pulling here. For the summon rush and to build up my mercy a little bit. Alright, we're going to pull a couple. Same thing, Nergigante. Because you never know. Alright, now let's take a look at the summon rush and see where we're at. Okay. So 2150. So I need 1,000 more. Ugh. I don't want to do that. Let's pull 5 more voids and then see how many more we need to go. I don't want to pull my primals. I don't want to go too deep into voids either. Is that another? It's Paintsmith. I hate when they reuse models. I get it, you know, like, again, this is another reused model, right? I get it. I'm not, like, necessarily... Oh, paid... Yeah, I'm not, like, you know, I get it. It's just frustrating. That's a lot of knots I got, huh? That's, what, 3 tree shield knots? Alright. So now I'm at 2750. Add 20 more ancients. I think I can do that. I can do that. I'm not thrilled about it, but I can do it. Let's see if we get anything. All rares. And this will be the last ancients here. All right. Kind of what was to be expected. But we do complete the summon rush, and we still have a bit of a stockpile to work with. We have the exact numbers too, which is really, really good. So that way we're not wasting any shards or overspending. And this number will continue to go up. Now, I may need to pull quite a few voids going into the champion chase, of course. But I think I'll be fine. I think that's enough voids. If I need to, I can pull Urost. I'd like to save him for Clan v Clan personal rewards, but if I have to for the tournament, I will. I'll probably end up pulling as many voids as necessary, but really getting a bunch of epics should get me through the champion chase. So we've got these shards from the summon rush. All we have left is dungeon divers. Obviously the artifact enhancement event as well, which I love those because it gives me a chance to build up some gear. I think, yeah, I'm pretty clear on gear here. I'm not like overstocked like I was on the free to play. Although I am quite close, so it'll be good to get to level up some gear here and you know, see how they roll, and if they roll bad, sell them. So but yeah, that's the plan. So I told you guys I would record every shard opening. I never said I'd release them. So if you are seeing this, great, but odds are I'm probably never released this. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.